Adrian. Hi, Daniel. How are you
Hey
guys?
Ashley.
Happy New
Good. How are you?
Good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
What
Happy
a
New
week.
Year to you.
What a week it's been. Crazy. It's been interesting to say the
Well,
least.
we're starting things off with a bang.
That's for sure. A bang indeed. Shy Hearts were anticipating the return of the season 9 mid-season premiere on Wednesday night. But due to the bang and the riots that were happening at the Capitol, it was moved to January 13th. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's correct. Yeah.
Daniel, I'll start with you. What was your reaction? I have to ask, just because it's on everybody's minds right now, what was your reaction when you saw or heard what was going on in Washington?
Wow. Great question. In the spirit of transparency and honesty, we were at work at the time that everything sort of started popping off. And after the last 4 years that we've had, if I'm being honest, it was a strange amount of like, I was definitely a little bit not unfazed exactly, but I just wasn't surprised, if that makes any sense. And so I kind of didn't expend any more or extra energy on it than I think is or was necessary. So that's kind of where I was with the
A
whole thing.
lot of people can relate to that. A lot of people are like, oh, what's really going on? Let me grab the popcorn. This is a movie. Not surprised at all, but this is crazy. Adrian, so as Daniel said, you guys were at work. When did you guys get the news that the show would be rescheduled, that we wouldn't get to see, the fans wouldn't get to have the show, the premiere happening on Wednesday night? How'd you guys find out?
We found out when NBC put a tweet out around 7 p.m. when men were supposed to come on, saying that they were going to continue to cover the coverage of DC.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And were you disappointed at all, or were you like,
I was looking forward to the premiere. I was to be completely honest, I was a little confused for a minute. Like, why? Why is our show being put on hold? But then I understood that, it would have been competing with coverage for that. However, my internal conflict was, do we give them more of the platform that they want to act a fool? Or do we completely disregard and don't give any positive strokes or negative strokes to this type of behavior? That's completely for reasons of just like egotistical temper tantrums. So that was my conflict that I had, but definitely happy that we're going to be back next week.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to it. So Daniel, you have been on Chicago Fire in a recurring role since season 7. And congratulations, you've been up to series regular. Woohoo!
Thank you. Thank you.
Your character has been one of representation and inspiration. How has your character evolved from season 7 to now?
Well, for starters, on the representation tip, like we've learned more about him, and he has become, he has become just a fuller character, a fuller person, and really standing in his own personhood and making no apologies for who he is, which I think is something that's really beautiful to see. Even when my character came out at the top of season 8, it was just this, I love the way that the writers handled even that, because it was such a non-event, which is something that I appreciate. Like it didn't have to be a whole thing, and now the other characters have to adjust and blah blah blah. We've seen that. Whatever, what would it be like just to have this person who we already know, who hasn't changed, who's still the same person? What would it be like to just learn something new, and that's it? So I love the way that was handled, and the way that he's evolved. I think that he, like I said, he's really stepping into who he is as a person. When he gets on, we kind of see, you know, he's doubtful and he's on unsure footing, not sure if he can sort of carve out his path in this career as a firefighter, as a first responder. And we see him gain confidence through mentorships in the firehouse. And we eventually, and especially now with season 9, we get to see him really engage with the kind of firefighter that we know that he can be, and the kind of person that he can be, which is, you know, heading toward the danger, jumping into the fire, saving people, doing his thing. And I think he's really grown a lot. I'm really proud of him.
Yeah,
So.
we all are proud. We all love Ritter. Adriyan, fans were introduced to your character, paramedic Gianna Mackey, in the season 9 premiere. You're no stranger to Chicago, to the shows, or medicine. You are a certified medical laboratory scientist. I mean, you better work, girl. You better work. And you auditioned for years for the Chicago shows, for like the franchise, like multiple shows. Talk to us about what it was like and what's been this journey for you of booking this show that you auditioned for several years. And is this a dream realized for you?
I think for me, the whole process was quite different because it was during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I had been auditioning I had never auditioned for fire. I auditioned for med and PD
Mm-hmm.
so many times. Ironically, when we were on set the other day, when we found out about what was happening in DC,
Mm-hmm.
I was in my Google Drives and I have a folder that says each show I've auditioned for, and the audition is in there. And it said Chicago Med, Chicago PD. I was like, I should watch it. But because I had auditioned so many times, I got the audition and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have fun.
Right.
Because I don't know what they're looking for. I've been trying. Who knows? So I just had fun with it, and I sent in a self-tape. Then we got some notes, and I did another self-tape. And then I knew it was kind of serious when the writers were like, let's talk. Let's set up a Zoom meeting to talk.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, okay. So we did that, and then I had a Zoom producer session. So similar to this, except I'm acting. There's a reader behind the laptop and all the lights. It's like, it's different, and it was like nerve-wracking at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of it, when they asked me how I was with heights, I was like, I think I got it. And we got the call like 2 days later that they were sending over the offer.
Wow.
And the dream that I realized is that it's literally a marathon, not a sprint.
That's good.
Having your head down and you keep grinding, hard work always is paid off. Whether it's now or later, it's going to be paid off. So
that's a good gem. Thanks for that gem, Adriyan. Congratulations. Love seeing you on the show. Love it. You're so beautiful, by the way, too. I just have to say.
Thank you.
Daniel, what does the mid-season premiere, where do we pick up? I mean, like, you guys came on in November, I believe it premiered in November. What are fans, what can we expect next week when we finally get to sit down with our popcorn and watch what we really want to watch on Wednesday night?
Bet. I mean, you know, so we came in with a bang back in November. You know what I mean? We introduced Adrian's character, Mackie. She had a really, scary call with our girl, Brett. Mm-hmm. Drug addict brother ramming the ambulance off of the overpass, like that whole thing. My character, Ritter, jumped on the train tracks, saved this lady, earned the respect of some of the other firefighters in the house. And then there's, of course, the romance going on with Severide and Kid. And so all of the characters are kind of doing, the whole thing. And where we pick up, is we have, Casey, our Captain Casey and Mouch, they have a run-in over some dangerous equipment failure. There's a whole thing with that. This brilliant action sequence that's like really harrowing. And I think it's going to get our fans, it's going to get the heart rate up. And then for my character, we see some more action with me and my best friend on the show, played by Alberto Rosende. Gallo, they navigate some interesting facts that are revealed about Mackie's personal life. That's coming up.
Right.
That's right, girl.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot. There's a few things that you can expect. There's gonna be some danger and some intrigue, and it's gonna be worth it for sure. Worth the wait.
This show always delivers. Adriyan, why are fans so intrigued and glued in on Wednesday nights to this whole franchise? Med, Fire. Why do you think people love the Chicago One family so much?
I've been thinking about this, and I think it's because Chicago, once Chicago brings humanity to first responders.
Right.
And, first responders are our modern day, everyday heroes.
Right.
So it allows us to see into their life a bit. It allows us to understand them and see how their personal workings and things are, which is just relatable, and it just resonates. So I feel like that's what pulls you in even more, because you see these people putting their lives on the line, and then you also get to see the other half of them where they really were just crying about their personal life, but then they got a call and they went and saved this person who just got shot, or you know what I mean, something like that. I feel like that's that balance that makes everyone just, you need to know more. And
Daniel, do you guys have actual first responders on set that you guys that walks you through the different terms and what to actually, how to really navigate a day in the life of a first responder?
Yeah, I mean, that's the fantastic part about, working on these shows, is that we have access to folks who have been doing it, for real. And to have that within our reach is always, it's a wealth of knowledge and I think on-site kind of hands-on training, in a way. There are real, whenever you see background firefighters, you know what I mean, in the shot, chances are those are real, either retired firefighters or people who are still, in the game even now. I think it's the same for the paramedic. There's always an on-site medic for those scenes that we see, Adriyan and Kyri do together. It's very like that. And whenever we have a question, it's very easy for us to go, hey, how does this thing go? Just really, because there's the intricacies of the mechanics of the daily job. What is this called? How does this this hose attach to this thing? Or those things, those little details that really matter and help us do our jobs better.
And you guys do it so well. Before I let you go, you guys are both inspirational. Adriyan, you dropped a beautiful gem when you said it's a marathon, not a sprint. Daniel, I have to ask you, what piece of advice would you share to our viewers who are first responders, or they're people who are just out there in the midst of this pandemic, in the midst of everything that's going on, and they're just wanting some hope? And, they're just wanting something to look forward to as we navigate in 2021. What piece of advice would you share?
Wow, that's a great and big question.
All right. Sorry.
No, you good. I guess all I can really think of is, what has helped me move forward and survive this thing so far, which is self-care is so important. If we are on this rocky airplane together and there's turbulence and we might be going down, but we don't know yet, always remember, put your mask on first, take care of yourself first. Only then can you reach over and help the next person. It's so important for us to remember that, I think. So hopefully there's some hope in that. Yeah, this time is about community, so, but you have to give to yourself so you can give to others.
Too. I love you too. Thank you so much for being such an inspiration. Love seeing you on the show, Adriyan. You brought such a beautiful energy to the show. And I'm sure paramedics are looking at you and being inspired, or people that want to go and be a paramedic are looking at you and wanting to be inspired. So thank you both. Congratulations on everything. And hopefully we don't have any interruptions next week, because I'm going to be ready with my popcorn.
Hey.
Hey.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Of course. Bye-bye.
Where is the buzz?
Where is the buzz? You said
We used to be
was
ashamed,
mine,
bro.
oh, mine.